We've all been there. Thank God it's Friday. Oh my God, it's Monday. Where did the paycheck go? If your paycheck disappears faster than your patience on Monday morning without a cup of coffee, this is not an income problem. This is a cash flow problem. And we are old enough now that this is something we've got to start learning and applying and employing right now, because it's not going to get any easier with every passing paycheck. And by God, how many paychecks have we had? It's time we stopped doing this. Thank God it's Friday. Oh my God, it's Monday. This is a cash flow problem. So in this conversation, we're going to talk about it and we're going to fix what's really broken. So grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, don't care, call somebody. Let's watch this video together, because it is time that you feel empowered when you get that paycheck, because you have spent so many hours earning it. Make it go to work for you. Hi, I'm Jenny. I am your bold, bombastic, irreverent friend who's going to tell you like it is, kick you in the butt, and make you get on with it if you choose. All these things I talk about, only you are in charge of it. I can't make you have a better life. You have to want it for yourself and decide it's time that you're going to start doing the things you have to do to get there. I promise you. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be worth it, and you're going to thank yourself for it. Paycheck to paycheck living keeps smart women broke and stuck. This is just simply us not planning far enough ahead with intention and focus. It doesn't matter how much you make. I know a lot of really high salary earning women who come Monday morning, not really sure where the money went. And for us ladies, there's a lot of fish hooks that our fingers get stuck in. But this video is going to talk about how with intention, when that paycheck comes around, you can stop the cycle and know exactly what job each one of those dollars have and put them to work to free you and to get you to where you want to be. One of the reasons paycheck to paycheck happens is because bills, they don't line up with our pay dates. They never have. I don't care if you get paid once a month, if you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, if you get paid every second Tuesday of the month, it doesn't matter. Your bills happen throughout the month on their own timing. It is your responsibility to look forward and to know that, wow, okay, I've got a really big bill coming up in 3 weeks. I have 2 paychecks between now and then. I've got the paycheck tomorrow and I've got the paycheck in 2 weeks, which is about 3 days before that bill's due. I can put half aside now and half aside later, or I can wait the date right before that bill's due and put the whole amount away, but then the paycheck is going to feel so tiny. So part of Adulting 101 and the Master Your Money Plan workbook, which is down in the description, free for you, and I've got some mini courses to help get you set up for this as well, is you are now going to start forecasting what bills are coming up and preparing for those before they hit, because if you start putting a little bit aside now for a big bill later, it's not going to feel quite so big. There are ways to manage your money to ensure that your peace and your comfort happens on autopilot and your bills will always have the money in order to pay for them. You're not bad with money. Your timing is off. Part of setting yourself up with a Master Your Money plan to make sure that you have the peace of mind every paycheck of the year is you need to separate your income into a couple of buckets. You've got bills, you've got living experiences, and you've got goals. The second thing that you want to do to ensure your peace from paycheck to paycheck, now it's just income. It's not every 2 weeks, quick start, quick stop. No, is you need a buffer. I encourage a 3 to 6 month buffer. You've probably have heard other people talk about that, but at a minimum, a 1 paycheck buffer. That might be a little bit hard for some of us to envision off the bat, so let's make it a $500 buffer to begin with. This is only a temporary stopgap though. You need a fully funded emergency fund, but for now, let's say $500. Once you figure out what your monthly bills are, your core foundational bills, and then how much you need on top of that to live, you will then see how much you have left over to be able to pay off debt and to set up some savings. So we're going to set up savings first. You've already met your basic bill requirements, and that includes your credit card bills, your student loans, etc. But let's start aggressively saving a $500 buffer just to give you a little bit of peace of mind. At the end of the day, I want that doubled, and then I want it 3 to 6 months. That's just my personal preference. I cannot tell you what peace of mind comes from having those amounts in reserve, knowing that when that rainy day hits, you've got an umbrella. You will also develop the skills with the Master Your Money Plan workbook and my mini courses to be able to not pay the bills that are just happening right now, but today's paycheck is going to pay the upcoming bills, not tomorrow bills. So you actually begin putting money aside for the bills that are happening in 2 and 3 weeks. If you're not accustomed to budgeting this way, it might be a little foreign. I'm going to show you how to do that. It is so much easier than what you've led yourself to believe, and it is time to do this for yourself. Give this gift of peace to yourself. Stability comes before big financial savings. We have to get the skill sets down to be able to wrangle our bills and address it with our paychecks and get that paying it in advance going before we can start saving really, really big. Do not doubt the end game is to save as much as you possibly can for your retirement, for the dream vacation, whatever your motivation is. But you have to stabilize and get your foundation down, your core bills and your core life pattern down. And with this comes the ability to save big. Next, you've got to work the muscles. So we've identified what our big buckets of needs are. We've got our bills, we've got our bills, we've got our lifestyle, we've got our goals. Next thing you need to do is get yourself into the habit of at least once a week, you're going to sit down for 10 minutes and you're going to look over what your upcoming bills are. If you get paid every week, this is critical, all right? Because the paycheck that comes in this week is not paying the bills next week. You've paid those with last week's bills. It's the week after. So you want to sit down and make sure no surprise bills have happened. There's only one bucket of money for the household, but sit down at least once weekly and do a self-audit. What did I intend to spend this week? What have I spent? Was there anything surprising that's coming up on the horizon? We have to be able to be flexible, make adjustments in order to be adults and successful at managing our own money. At the end of every personal audit, if you see that you're going to have extra money in that next paycheck that doesn't already have a job based on your master money plan, your budget, these are little soldiers that can now go to war and get you to where you want to go. In this order, your buffer, keep building it up. Okay. You started off with a $500 buffer. I want you to take it to $1,000 and then pause. That is going to be your buffer account until you get your debt paid off. The next job any extra money has, and this includes side hustles that you're bringing in more income depending how quickly you want to make this happen, then the next bucket that you're going to apply your money to is paying off your debt. We have got to get out from underneath the interest payments, the owing somebody else. The freedom of mind that's going to happen when you no longer owe somebody, you're going to be amazed how you've lived your life under their thumb. So pay off your debt next. And then we're going to start building up our retirement fund, because every last one of us has worked hard enough and long enough, and we want to retire whatever that looks like. Retire like you mean it. Down in the description as well, I've got some journals that'll help walk you through retiring like you mean it and what that means for you. There's also some journals down there to walk you through other possible things that you need to work out. I personally am looking forward to doing the 52-week retirement rehearsal. I know that when I decide to no longer work for somebody else, at whatever point in my life that is, I'm not going to just come home and sit on the couch, eat bonbons, and watch stories. I'm not doing that. But I have things that I want to get out and do, especially when I'm as young as I'm ever going to be for the rest of my life. Things I want to do. Do I want to retire? But what does my retirement look like? What my grandfather's retirement? Possibly my dad's retirement. You have to remember, managing your cash flow is a skill, not necessarily an inborn talent. So it's not going to be natural and normal for a lot of us. And a lot of us have avoided it our entire life. But you can't tell your money where to go unless you know how much money you're telling. Do a budget, master your money, go and get it for free. It's overdue for you to start doing this. If you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, You don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. You've been doing it since your first job. You deserve to live the life in charge of your money without having to think about it every day. Let me help you figure out how to master your own money plan. Go and get it in the description. Send this video to somebody in your life who can use this information. We are all in a position to where we could do better with money, and there's no reason you have to walk this alone. Get a buddy. You guys start doing this together. Getting ahead does not necessarily start with money. It starts with awareness and control. So in this conversation, I hope you have realized that this is not something to avoid or something to be fearful of. I've got lots of videos out there that talk about how to get started with your Master Your Money Plan. There's the mini course. So you guys keep coming back. I post every Wednesdays and Saturdays. I look forward to talking to you some more. Like, subscribe, share. Help me build my channel and tell YouTube to push this out to other people, because it is time that we all live excitedly, bombastically, unapologetically, and in control of our futures. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Stop recording.